wear glasses to match that you have glasses on.
Thanks, man.
We're Jotted Illustrations, and this is our first video.
She's short. I went to Howard University.
And I went to Morgan State University. MSU, no?
Actually, first of all, wow, that was out of pocket because it's HU, you know. Alright?
You said wow! That was you know. Like that
Howard
doesn't even flow.
Hand.
I don't know if they still do that though.
College of Engineering, Architecture, and Computer Sciences.
That's what they usually lump them
together.
CX. I actually, when I first enrolled to school, I was in the school for journalism, and I dropped that.
I was in the architecture portion.
I went to liberal arts. I was doing English and then the division of journalism, and I dropped that and went, actually, when I left school, and then when I came back, I went to school for business, and I did the finance.
Well, that one's an interesting one. It all started when I was 3 years old. I chose architecture because it was something I wanted to major in, this point blank period. It was either that or illustration. I wanted to do something that I more than likely could have a harder time and a harder way to go if I did not learn it in school.
I chose my major, journalism, because it was actually something I was really interested in. I used to write fake news reports on the typewriter we had at home. I was like, ooh, vintage analog. But then dropped it because I was like, no, English, no. Not so much my parents, it was more like other people were like, you're not gonna make much money in English. And I wish I didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
I wish I had listened to my parents and just stuck with it.
I was with everybody and I cried at the end of the day because everybody was gone and I wasn't used to that. I'm the youngest. And then I was stuck with a bunch of strangers. Luckily I was there early so I got the top bunk. I had great roommates.
She had 3 people in that little box of a room.
Like, including me.
People did have 4, right?
There was one that, yeah.
I went to the program, Access Success. I had to have a high GPA or high SAT scores.
Bam!
I had both.
That was Mopper Bang.
Correct. So I ended up going, you could take college courses before the school year started. I didn't want to go because it started in July. I don't know when they get out of high school now, but at the time we got out in June. Somewhere mid to late June. And then 2 weeks later, I had to leave for college. Everybody else gets to dance around in their mom's backyard, okay? Scholastically,
a firm decision of what you want your college career to be.
Yes.
Know what it is and do it.
I think that's the biggest thing, because so many times you go to college because like people say you have to. If you're going to do that, go to community college because that's where you take all the general courses and you start to get a feel. And it's so much cheaper than university. If you just up and leave for university, it's gonna be a waste of your money because you don't even know what you want to do. And university is thousands of dollars. So it's so much cheaper. And you can spend your 2 years flittering between what you want to do, figure it out, and then leave for university. People might talk about you, but they don't have to pay your tuition bill. They don't have to give those loan money back after you graduate. So they don't really get to have an effect on where you leave after you graduate high school.
Or when you leave.
Or when you leave. University, you've got to know what you want to do when you get there. It saves you so much time and agony. I would say a bujo. When you get to college, there's a lot more things and there's a lot more independent study, and bullet journaling will help you keep track of your time, really, so that you have time for clubs and activities, which I think is also equally important. Also, I think that helps you stay focused on school. It helps you stay on campus, helps you stay away from people who you shouldn't be around. There's a lot of fun things happening off campus that you don't need to be a part of.
If you cannot quell your curiosity, you know it's going to be a regret of yours, but don't make it a regret. Like have your wits about you. So like know what you're there for and just be there for that. Like return that to the back. Like every time you do something, remind yourself of what you paid to go to school for. You don't care about money, think about your goal. Because at the end of the day, is this really gonna help your end game here?
Is it?
And if it is, then go to the wins.
Do it, have fun. Because you have to have some outside experiences. You have to. Like it's part of the life, because for a lot of people, university is when you get your independence, especially if you're from, a foreign household. You're going to get your independence in university, so a lot of that is making those decisions of, I can go out and know that I need to, come back at a certain hour.
You can and actually should be friends with the locals because they're there and they're local and they're not terrible people. And there's a stigma about that in HBCUs, and people that acted out and wanted to sit there on their high horses and pretend that I'm in here and you're out there, so have your dirt jobs. Keep yourself in check. Nobody says go out and find people from the area just to be friends with them. But if it happens, you don't need to feel any different from that interaction than you do from somebody you know at school. Because the janky person is the one you know in class. It's more than likely not the one that lives down the street.
It's true.
It's not them. Community. Ironically, I still was part of them, but probably just really not in the way I imagined it in my head. But I still had that. I made a really good group of friends. I had a fantasy about community. There was a lot. It was that
too, actually.
moment that I was like, there's a lot about this supposed diaspora that everybody be faking on.
I too had a fantasy about community in a way. I thought I was gonna go there and then like have a group of girlfriends and we're all gonna be studying in the library together. And like, you know, we would be drinking juice in the cafeteria. I actually won that. I actually did have that group of girlfriends and we did drink juice in the cafeteria.
My reality was that there was like-minded people.
You didn't have to
My
be
fantasy of reality was confirmed in a different way. I wasn't alone. Everybody was so different. Like we did, and we were able to talk about it and have fun about it. I think so.
I definitely think so. So the aspects of HBCU culture is getting dressed.
Yeah.
I was hearing a lot of places, like my friends from high school, when they were talking about their colleges, they were talking about how they go to class in sweatpants and old hoodies.
And people were like, what?
I don't know how it is anymore.
People that got away with the least, I'm gonna say it in this perspective,
athletes.
They were always in some like fucking name brand sweatpants
and Adidas
like
flip-flops.
The Nike sweats. Some kind of branded sporty like Under Armour.
Tight ass Under Armour shirt.
Under Armour shirt.
Gray sweatpants. There's those ripaways.
And their socks are always clean.
Always.
The freshest white
They had to be the cleverest white socks because they was always in them. Do you see those?
I have friends sometimes in the athletes section. So sometimes we had like the keys to go into the locker rooms and use the shower. So you could just like get our little caddy, go to the shower real quick,
dudes looking out,
and then go back to the studio and be crusty. Mates would always make it a point to try and go to breakfast, and I think they did that more to like for me because they never saw me and they never felt like they saw me enough. So we made basically breakfast dates. So we would just go and at least like twice out of the week, at least I had to show up for breakfast. So they know I ate.
That's nice. I think that was the biggest thing about HBCU.
Having that woke teacher.
I don't remember mine's name. He had these long dreads.
And my dad's car's always in somebody's dashiki with a little hat.
You got that woke teacher. Then you have like a lot of the women professors were like really no nonsense, but in a way where it was like you're gonna know this inside and out because when you get out in these streets, correct? Because those black women were not again. They didn't coddle you and they didn't spoon feed you. They treated you like the adult you were supposed to be. However, they also made it so that if you weren't understanding something, there was always this feeling that you could actually approach them. It was a no-nonsense class that had nurturing involved. The fact that they took the time to do the nurturing aspect was, I think, distinctive of an HBCU. I think because HBCUs, a lot of them are smaller than maybe a really big state school. Even though Morgan is technically a state school, it's a public university, but since it's HBCU, it's smaller than like University of Maryland. Most of the teachers are gonna actually know your name, at least know your face. Like they're actually gonna know you. I think that's another thing about HBCUs. Even if you're a quieter person in class. Because I was very quiet in class and people still know me. If I didn't show up for class one day and then I came the next time, they was like, well, what was you doing? Where was you at? I hope it's still like that.
And in their major, especially if you're like in the major, like you're in the school.
Yeah, if you're in that school, correct.
They know your schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Be the community.
Yeah.
I had the liberty to be just at school.
You get to be who you are.
You.
You're a
carefree black person.
You can be a carefree black person. You're not
finally get to be the category.
the
Not
black
the black person.
You're not
in
the black
category.
anything. You're just
you.
I think that was actually where the split would be. Like the split would be between domestic students and international students. And light skin, dark skin. But this isn't about like splits.
A split. Like at some point you're like, yeah, we're all black, but now you're African.
The thing I like least was the cafeteria. Trying to beat the athletes to the food. Breakfast time, there was waffles, but you only had a certain amount of waffle batter.
They be cooking.
And the athletes would come in and for some reason just nobody would stop them from using up most of the batter, so you had to beat the athletes. And people also, what I like least about university is walking through a crowd to get to class. At Morgan, there's the bridge, but people used to congregate right at the end of that bridge. That's right where main campus begins. 10 minutes before classes start, everyone seems to be milling about right there. So I would leave 20 minutes before my class. I would walk all the way around up Hill and Road, back down Hill and Road to Cold Spring, and then come up around the English building. Because that I would be coming in from the back side of main campus and then walking down. So instead of just coming straight shot, bang, I went around just so I could avoid the bridge.
I'm going to change what I hate the most.
Okay.
All the awkwardly timed, like, activities. Because there's some really cool stuff going on, but it favored certain majors.
It did.
And you can
That's
tell
true.
because you, as an architecture major, you're not making it. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're not making it. Don't regret it.
Because it's done. It's done now. You did it.
Now let it go. Let it in the wind. Just let it in the wind and continue on with your life. You know what? No, I'm not gonna say that. Yes, I am. You're in a relationship, end it now.
Oh, for high schoolers?
For both of them. End it now. End it right now. Focus on exactly what it is that you want entering into whatever stage of life you're entering into, and then see if y'all really want to get back together after that. But end this now. Don't drag that with you. If you really want to be together at the end of it, it's not going to be a problem.
It's not.
That's
Because
the
you're
bottom line.
gonna realize.
That's why they told you.
That's why they said break up. Exactly. Because if you really gonna be together, y'all gonna be together.
Y'all gonna be together.
That's the best advice. I don't even want to add to that.